Hey, do you know what this is? This is called Macassar Ebony. Do you know what? It's awesome. And guess what? Taylor is doing a very limited run of some limited edition guitars with this stuff. I'm going to tell you all about it. So stay tuned. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name is Chris McKee with Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you're new to our channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos, and comment below. If you'd like to support our channel, make sure to visit our Teespring store for custom designed t-shirts, like the Stranger Strings shirt that I'm wearing. We have a new version of this. It's very cool. So it's just Stranger Strings. That's it. All right. Cool. So today, as we mentioned, we're looking at this new custom designed guitar from Taylor that's available in a limited run with Macassar Ebony and Sinker Redwood. Now, the guitar that I'm holding right here in my lap is not one of those guitars. We actually don't have them yet, but they are coming very, very soon. They're extremely limited. We are going to be doing a demo for those guitars as soon as they arrive, provided they are not already purchased by the time they get here. But I wanted to take this opportunity to tell you what's in the pipeline coming so that you have the opportunity to take advantage of this very limited run. I'm a huge fan of Macassar Ebony. How huge a fan? The combination of Macassar Ebony and Sinker Redwood inspired me to build this guitar. So this guitar is actually mine. This is a custom Taylor that I own. It's a GS with Sinker Redwood top and Macassar Ebony back and sides. And I actually had this built back in 2014. Since then, Taylor has at various times offered guitars with this combination of Tonewoods. Sometimes it's been just the top, and we've done videos before like that, like they did a run of 700 series and 900 series. I'll link to one of those right up there that you can see that had Sinker Redwood tops, and I just love this Tonewood. If you're not familiar with Sinker Redwood, it's kind of special. So I'll tell you a brief story about it that we've told before. But Sinker Redwood is redwood that literally sunk. A lot of it was being cut down and used for lumber back when California was just developing, and they would float it down the river to the sawmill, and these logs would sink into the river. They actually had dams built up to kind of build the river up to a point. Logs would go down so far, sink down, and so forth. They'd release those dams, during rainy seasons, get the logs down, they'd float down, they'd be cut, and that's basically, how the lumber game works. So some of those sunk down to the bottom, they stayed in the river silt, and down there they took on all this beautiful coloration from the mineral deposits that were in there. And if you take a look at these tops, if I move this in the light in certain ways, I can see this iridescence that's in there. And it's minerals that get deposited in the wood from the water and from the river bed. So a lot of these logs got taken up, and from the story I understand, it was just kind of an enterprising man that found out about them, and he started dredging them up, and he didn't really ask California or the EPA or anything. If that story's true, that's what I've been told. And so if you were to try to do this now, there's probably a lot of regulations that would get in the way of you just dredging up giant logs from the bottom of, say, like the Mendocino River. But the wood that we have is really amazing. Not only does it look awesome from being down there for so long and being preserved, but it's also really old growth redwood. And so it's the stuff that's suitable for making fantastic tops of guitars. What does it sound like? Well, redwood sounds to me like cedar on steroids. So if you think about the spectrum that Tonewood tops fall on, you have on one end of the spectrum Adirondack. And Adirondack is very, very loud, but you have to put a lot of energy into it, and then it's just a cannon. Sitka spruce kind of falls below Adirondack, and it's used on so many guitars because it's a good combination of stiffness and lightness, and it gives you a really great bright tone with a lot of volume. It doesn't get overwhelmed very easily, but it responds to a fairly light touch. On the other end of the spectrum, we have cedar, usually used in classical guitars because it responds to a light touch and less tension so well. But you can overwhelm it by playing too hard. Because it responds to that light touch, it can kind of get distorted in a way when you're playing acoustic guitar with, say, a heavy attack. And so what redwood does is it kind of comes back up a little bit from cedar and falls somewhere between Sitka and cedar. It's got that wonderful warmth that we hear from cedar, which sounds like a really well played in Sitka spruce top, but it handles just more input from your picking hand better than cedar does. It's still not going to get as loud as Sitka spruce does, but it's a really great kind of in-between compromise to give you that warmth, that great response to a light touch, and the volume that you want. When it happens to be sinker redwood, it also just looks amazing. I call this guitar Cocoa. Get it? So when you pair that with Macassar Ebony back and sides, it's a great combination. I first learned about this combination because Bob Taylor built himself a dreadnought out of this stuff way back when, and he described it as like this Gibson lo-fi tone with a bit of that Taylor sparkle sprinkled on top. So if you can think of like a Gibson J45 warmth and roundness, but by adding some of that Taylor articulation back, you might have a good idea of what Macassar and sinker sounds like. Now, Macassar on its own is a very dense wood, and it's got some aspects to it that we expect from other dark woods like rosewood. So there's a really great, wonderful bass to it, some wonderful high bell-like chime to it, really nice overtones, but it can also be very transparent and will take on this chameleon-like aspect to it based upon the style of the player, and also just where you're playing, closer to the bridge, closer to the neck. It really will kind of adapt to those playing styles, which is another reason I like it a lot. When you pair these two together, it's just, to me, kind of one of the best of both worlds when it comes to really rich chords, finger-style guitar playing, things like that. That's why I opted to have this guitar, you know, with kind of this body shape and the bracing that was available at the time. This is CV bracing, by the way, and this combination of Tonewoods, because to quote one of our coworkers, the first time I played this guitar has the badunk-a-dunk. You know what I mean? It's just got this really rich low bottom end that's fantastic, but you still have that treble. It doesn't overwhelm. It's not unbalanced so much on the low end that it's muddy sounding. And I've played this in so many environments and venues where I'd even have amplification and the guitar was way loud enough. It's just really a fantastic guitar, one of the favorite guitars I own. So what's great about Taylor bringing this combination to you is several things. One, they're doing it in a 914CE and a presentation PS14ce as well. Now, they only have enough wood for 100 sets, which means 50 guitars of each of these, and that's worldwide. So we got 2 each. That's all we could do, and we're kind of, you know, pulling hairs to get that out of Taylor. So know that these are going to be very small production numbers for these guitars. The other very cool thing about this is, unlike my guitar, these now have the V-class bracing, which means you are going to get this wonderful Tonewood pairing along with all of the benefits of both the 900 series and presentation series, you know, adornment and specifications, and you're going to get the great balance of volume and sustain with the improved intonation that the V-class guitars offer. So I'm extremely excited to tell you about it in the sneak peek. Now, because I don't have the guitars here, I'm just going to play one song on this to give you an idea of what this Tonewood pairing could sound like. So check it out. So there you have it. Taylor has 100 in total, 50 of each, 914ce and PS14ces coming out very soon this year in this great wood combination, Sinker Redwood and Macassar Ebony. Oh, I love this pairing. So, I mean, honestly, had I not already had this built, I'd probably buy one of the guitars coming out. But I already own this. And I don't have enough money to have this and those guitars, which means that we have 4 guitars coming and they're up for grabs. I don't get to keep one of them. So if you'd like more information about those guitars, it is available on our website. Pictures from Taylor with all the specifications there. Just go to alamomusic.com, and you can also chat live with one of our associates, ask any questions that you want, clarify things, get pictures of the guitars that we have arriving so that you can pick, if you're first in line, from the ones that we have coming in. And also, you know, ask about things like finance options and whatnot. That's all available there on our website. So anyways, that's what's going on. Sneak peek stuff. It's kind of different for us to do it this way, but these were just too cool to pass up, and we had to let you know as soon as possible. Once these guitars come in, as soon as I have the opportunity, I will also do a demo on those. Now, I don't know if they will already be spoken for, but if you are then looking for one from maybe another dealer that's getting them, you'll know and have the opportunity to hear for yourself. As always, I want to thank you for watching and remind you that the very best guitar in the world, whether it's custom or it's got cool Sinker Redwood or anything, it really is just the one that you are making music on. That's why we make these videos, to encourage you to do that, help you find the perfect guitar for you. So thanks for watching, keep coming back, and I'll see you next time.
Once again, you guys, thank you very much for watching. If you want to learn more about the guitar, check out Alamo Music. Oh, Pat.
Hey everybody, I love guitar videos just like you do. But guess what? Alamo Music Center has another YouTube channel. You can check out all the piano and keyboard reviews that we have and see more of me. Cooper, do we have another one of those? He's fine.